Welcome in, jewelry addicts. We have such an exciting reseller educational chat tonight. Let's go. Jamie came in here like, let's go. I've been waiting for this conversation. I've actually been waiting for this conversation as well because Jenya and I had a quick chat. And Jenya of Phoenix Treasures. Okay, guys, we're going to make sure that you guys know how to follow her. She is incredible. She is a mama of many, I want to say 3, full-time reseller, and she buys storage units. But we had a quick conversation leading up to tonight, and she shared a little bit of information with me. But I didn't ask her all the questions because I wanted to be. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie's going to show me out. I wanted to be just as excited. I wanted you guys to see my face when I was like, what is this? So welcome in, guys. I'm so glad that so many of you are able to attend live. And if you're watching the replay, amazing. Let us know in the chat on vintagejewelryaddicts.com or in the app that you are able to watch live or the replay. Jenya of Phoenix Treasures, she commented below. And Jenya, I'm just going to give us a few more minutes until I invite you, but I'll let you know when I invite you. Or I'll tell you to leave and then I'll invite you. And I think you should see it on the app. You don't see it on the video unless District updated that, and I'm not aware. So, okay, three thumbs up. Yeah, so we hope that you guys take a lot away from tonight. And thank you to Jenya, because again, she is a busy jewelry addict reseller. But we have hosted these a few times. We did not host in December. I was too busy. But we are planning for a February reseller chat, and that will be with hopefully Kristen of Keenly Kristen about sourcing and just general rules of thumb and how you can be a better, vintage jewelry sourcer. But if anyone here has a suggested topic or considers himself an expert and wants to chime in at any time, you don't have to be a seller. You can be a buyer. You can be a bystander. You can know someone and be like, I know someone who's over here in this world, and they would be a great speaker for Vintage Jewelry Addicts. So we're always looking for speakers for these entirely free Vintage Jewelry Addicts trainings that are open to the entire community so that you guys can learn and be inspired. So Jenya, I'm going to, hi Debbie, and if you guys are here, let us know in the comments, that you're here. I have some host notes, just a few things, but we are going to welcome Jenya, and basically we're going to do a dual screen. So you guys will probably want to flip me so that I'm going to be upper right hand corner and we see Jenya's beautiful face and you can see and hear her clearly. Hi, Jen. So Jenya, if you want to pop out, and then I'm going to invite you. Oh shoot, now to invite. Oopsie. How do I invite? Got the views. Okay, I got it. Invite to co-hosting. So okay. I think that was a lot easier than I was anticipating. I think she's about to pop in.
You worked.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. First time it worked.
So you're here. Oh my gosh. So
okay.
Can you guys
I don't see you though.
Jenya? Oh no, maybe we're not supposed to see each other. Nah, where'd she go? All right. Well, that's okay for me. Trying to touch the screen too. Like, where is she? Where is she? Okay. Well, I see you on my desktop, so at least I can see there. But for everyone else who's in, the way that you can toggle back and forth is if you see me, touch Jenya, and she should be the upper left hand corner for most of you. If you touch her face, then she will be the main screen. If anyone's having trouble with that, let us know, because the duo lives isn't something that we do a lot here in Vintage Jewelry Addicts, so I do not consider myself an expert. But Jenya, let's get started. Really. So Jenya comes to us.
That'd be me. Okay, you're good. You're good. I see her.
I do that all the time. Jenya comes to us from the great land of Florida. Give it up to our Florida residents, okay? A little bit about her background. But Jenya, I would love to hear from you, really, just to open us up. Like, how did you get into resale? And you're not live.
Am I what?
Sorry, guys, I had a
Oh,
phone call. You're not live from your like storage unit, showroom space. But tell us a little bit about how you transitioned into that space as well.
oh gosh, that was a pure accident because I'm a ER trained nurse, ER trauma trained nurse by trade. So at 2020, kind of, the vid hit and everybody was home. And I had this obsession with coffee mugs. Like, don't judge, coffee mugs of all sorts. So I would get some, and when I would run out of shelf, I would just start selling. That's how I got into selling in the first place. And when everybody got kind of stuck in their houses, my husband said, why don't I get you a whole bunch of stuff so you can keep yourself busy? And I found a website and we bought our first unit, and he got hooked, I got hooked, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
So,
And
wait, I'm
so
going to jump in. Your first experience resale was buying a storage unit.
cups, it was mugs, it was coffee mugs. I would collect coffee mugs of all sorts. And just when I run out of space on my shelves, that's how I would start selling them. Made an eBay account and just kind of started posting them on there. And um, in 2020, when we were all stuck at home, we were just kind of, okay, let's get a lot of stuff. It was just kind of on the whim. It was literally we were sitting at 10 p.m. watching. I don't even know what we were watching. It was like Friends, episode of Friends, and we're like, hey, that might be a good idea, and just kind of bought a first unit. It was the scariest thing you could possibly have. Scariest thing. First of all, there were no people around. When they opened up, we had to social distance, and we opened it up. It was in a corridor in the furthest corner of the facility you can possibly think of, and no lights worked. And when we opened up, the first thing I saw was one of those white masks from one of the scary movies. It was like Jason or Michael or Kruger, or it was like the white hockey mask. And that was the only thing that was light enough in that unit to see. And it wasn't a big, it was 5 feet by 5 feet, but it was like you open it up, there was like a machete and a mask.
That's
Yeah.
so you bought a storage unit just full of mugs.
Yes. It was that and mugs.
So it was Freddy Krueger and mugs.
And
Was
mugs.
was your first experience with resale? So did you know I mean, this is the point of tonight's Q&A, right? There's so many ways to buy storage units, but with this particular one, you knew that it was full of mugs. Like you had that information.
So the way they transitioned, because it used to be live, people would go and you can actually bid live. You stand there right in front when they open the door and you'll be able to see it in. And after 2020, everybody went online. So the only thing we had to go off of is however many pictures they would take, because they're physically not allowed to step into the unit itself. So they're taking pictures like from the corridor. However, a zoom lens will be able to zoom in, and like very muddy pictures, very blurry pictures, and obviously very dark. So whatever flash camera they had, whatever they were able to catch, that was the only thing. But I saw the little handles. Like you can see the little handles sticking out, and you can see there were like Disney ones and there were Star Wars ones. So I'm like, oh, mugs. Okay, I don't care what kind, mugs. So I'm like, yeah, let's get that one. It's small. It was cheap. We had no idea what we were doing. And it was just kind of, we didn't notice the mask, because the way the pictures, the ones that they put, they were probably scared themselves. So by the time like we got in there, like, oh, okay, there's more than mugs, because we legitimately thought the whole unit was mugs, but ended up being mugs plus everything else in there. So that's how we kind of we're like, okay, now we have to clean it out because they only give us a limited amount of time to clean it out. Some facilities 24 hours, maximum we have was 72 hours. So we have that time frame to move everything out. So we moved everything into our garage. So we started in our garage. And we were selling out of our garage for about 2.5 years. Literally bought shelves. We had little aisles. We had little rows within the garage. It was insane. Couldn't park obviously in there. So we decided to rent our first space. It was small in Florida, no AC. Summers are brutal. We were there for 3.5 years, and just this last year, we moved into a much bigger space, AC all throughout.
I can only imagine in Florida. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, you have no AC garage in Florida? Oh my gosh. Okay, so your first storage unit was purchased online
Mm-hmm.
because it was COVID, which I feel like it was forever ago. It was 5 years ago. Are you buying storage units in person now? Like, do you have that opportunity, or are they still doing mostly everything with online?
They're they're doing mostly online. There are some places just kind of nostalgia vibe that you can go in person, but not a lot of people show up. It's not really good unit, so everything is online because it works for them. They can kind of have a much bigger audience, and it works for everybody else from state to state where they can actually see what's not local. So it kind of a win-win situation all over the place. So they just kind of tried that idea because they had to and to survive, and it worked out good. It's one of those happy accidents that kind of worked out for everybody.
Got it.
So
So
yeah.
so hypothetically,
Hmm.
I live in Maryland, right? So I could bid on a storage unit in New Jersey,
Hmm.
fine.
Hmm.
And then I just have to go and remove everything within a certain period of time. Is that how it works
Correct.
if I win?
Correct.
Okay. And the storage unit, so based on your experience, I'm sure it's different, you
Mhm.
know, by region, but are the storage units typically like because the individual didn't pay for it? Like, how do these storage units go up for sale?
So there is a lengthy process because we also have a YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel, we literally open up whatever we see. It's a first person. My husband usually has like a camera on his head, and our reaction is the first reaction. It's what audience sees and what we do. Same thing. So how it works is I just based on the question.
How do all good. And what is your YouTube channel?
I'll text it to you and we can send it out
Yes. Okay,
because it's yeah there it's yeah. I'll text it to you and we can just send it out if
we would
anybody's interested. Yeah, we did it in Russian language, so now we're actually starting to do it in English language.
go.
So there's like I'll text you the English.
I love this. I know there's more Russian speaking jewelry addicts out there. So love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, we're crazy.
So the question was like, how did these storage units
Oh, how did they go? Okay.
like
So it's when we were buying why I started with the YouTube, because we would get a lot of comments, "Oh, you're taking other people's stuff," and so on and so forth. So I started asking, like I called the company, I talked to the facility people and I started asking. So how it usually works is when you rent a storage unit and you don't something comes up and you cannot pay for it. They and they're very vigilant. Like the facility calls and texts and sends letters 3 times a day, the facility itself. And then twice a day, you get a call from their corporate office. And this goes on for what they said was 90 days. So legally, they have 90 days. And if the person whose unit it is, they answer and they can work out some kind of payments, even if it's like $10, they'll be okay with that. So a lot of people they just ghost. They just ghost. or they would like put a whole bunch of garbage in there and they just ghost, right? But after 90 days, what happens is the facility actually, through their corporate and everything, they do the paperwork, they file it through the court system. The court system says now you have to publish an ad in the paper 3 consecutive weeks, like a local paper, that this unit such and such is going to be auctioned at such and such date. So after they do that, they have to get all of their papers together. And yet they're still calling the owners of the unit every single day, 3 times a day from every facility, plus twice from corporate. Every single day, they're sending the letters, the certified letters with the signatures, like the whole schmeal. So they have a time after that. They go to the judge, and the judge says, okay, you've done everything that you're supposed to do. I'm putting a stamp on it, and you're okay to sell it. So at that point, they have to go get a person to come out and cut the lock and take the pictures, post it on the website, run the auction, and then get this. The person's credit does get ruined. So it's better to pay or make a deal. And say a unit is $1,000. Like we win it for $1,000. The person owes $500. That $500 difference goes back to the person. So that's pretty much how it works.
Got it. So you buy
Mm-hmm.
you buy something for 1,000, and
Mm-hmm.
the previous owner owes
If, as an example, whatever amount they owe,
yeah.
and if there's anything left over, like whatever they owe to the facility,
Yeah.
they take it out of the 1,000, and whatever's left, they give it back to the owner.
Oh, so the facility, so it's like, all right, so Extra Space Storage, that's a brand here. So if I never pay for my unit, whatever, but I owe them $500, it sells for $1,200. That $700 doesn't go to Extra Space, just the $500, and it actually gets mailed back to me, even though I might be no longer alive or whatever.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
Wow. And I'm seeing some comments. So the facility takes what is owed to them, and the remaining of what it's sold for goes to the original owner. So it is. And Jamie made a note that maybe every state has different rules, which I'm sure.
No. Mm-mm.
No,
It's all the same, because we bought in different states. The only difference state to state is tax. How much tax you pay.
tax on the actual unit. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So after you buy a unit,
Mm-hmm.
they is it like you got
huge
tomorrow?
Yes, that huge ding, like not even a ding, like they ruin it. And I've actually talked to them, and they said, yeah, even if they would, do a deal of $10 like a month or something, they wouldn't even bother with it. But then after we buy a unit, they still give those people ability, before we hand them the money over, to pay for the unit.
Got it.
So it's like it's all the way to the end.
So then after you buy a unit, is there like a month waiting period before?
No, they call us, they want it out right away. So we usually go and get it the same day or the next day if it's a weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That's why you catch me every time I'm somewhere.
Jenya's all over the world. Where in the world is Jenya?
I know. It's like, what is it? Carmen Sandiego, right?
Yes.
It's like, we're in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's make this a little bit more vintage story specific, but we wanted to, because most of us are reselling a lot of different things, and so this information is valuable. But if you are someone who's focused on vintage jewelry or women's fashion accessories, Jenya, what sort of, I mean, I guess based on your experience, how have you learned which storage units might have the stuff that you're looking for? That's jewelry and women's accessories.
And my husband and I would go back and forth on this question all the time, because obviously, him being a man, he's all into, like saves and electronics and whatever else the guys are into. And I'm more like, oh, it's a pretty picture. There's a pretty picture in there. There's a pretty vase. Let's take the pretty vase, you know? So um, when we look at those pictures, after a while, you're able to kind of sense what kind of people own the things. Sometimes it is, especially when it comes to vintage jewelry, it's always, always, always. There was not a single unit that we bought that did not have a very old wooden furniture, like grandma, great grandma type furniture, boxes. Older people love boxes, like box, not bins. I don't know what it is. It's always boxes, like cardboard boxes. There's always some kind of a, and it's always for some reason in the front, old type of equipment like VCR tape type deals or records or record players. So those units, 92% of the time, they have vintage jewelry. 92% of the time. Some of the units that we get, which are, you can tell they're more modern, like younger people, because it's all gray and it's all, you know, aesthetically pleasing, and it's all mirrored dressers and mirrored mirrors and all the sparklies, like lifestyle type vloggy vibe, you can say. Those have more of a, I don't want to say higher end, but on the other side, it's a higher end. Like that's where you would find like K Jewelers and Holzberg Diamond type of things, and Tiffany. I don't know what the deal with Tiffany. Everybody goes crazy about Tiffany. I'm like, I like the color of the bag. Like the box is pretty. It's like, you know, so it's but you can tell. Like sometimes you can tell. And sometimes you would just look at the picture and there's just dead smack in your face, there's a jewelry box. And you just have to see how big the layer of dust on top of it.
So smart. So smart. Okay, so these are great insights, guys. You almost have to be a detective of whatever photos you have to piece the puzzles together about who this person has been. Can you, Jenya, share with us if you've had this experience? I can't remember if you have. Like, have you hit the jackpot with the story for you?
As far as the things, jewelry or
Yeah, as
other
far
stuff, so,
as like the feminine stuff. I mean, maybe
the
vases and glass bowls. Oh, she's showing us.
like not even this is all new. So there are some things that we got. There was a lady who was collecting brooches and Barbies.
Okay.
Barbies. Oh my god, that was like, when we counted and we brought everything out, it was 12 boxes. And what they do is, I don't think I have any of those boxes of hers over here. But what she did was really smart. So what she did was she would take a tray. Like, I'll give you an example. Like she would take a tray and she would stick a piece of styrofoam, which is wrapped with like velvet or some kind of material, and she would pin the brooches in there. And we had trays stacked up on top of each other, and we had about 25 boxes, like large moving 24 boxes worth of brooches. I'm still going through them. That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years.
So
2 years ago.
this particular woman was she collecting signed brooches?
Signed brooches. I actually, the girls at our shop, they sent me this. This is from her unit, and this is what I was gonna do the unboxing on my live.
Yes.
Like this.
Oh my.
This is what I this is literally from 2 years ago. This it was kind of lost. Like there's just like random silver chains mixed in with it's like
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, with like Sarah Coventry type of stuff and science stuff and Christmas stuff. Some of the things you guys seen on my lives also from that unit, but it was just so much. It's overwhelming. Sometimes it's extremely overwhelming to see that amount of stuff. Like when you go on, like I go on hunts, when you go on jewelry hunts and you go to a show or you go to a flea market, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of thrill of the hunt to find that really cool piece or something really cool. And here, just kind of like, here you go, 20 boxes of this stuff, and you're just sitting there like, oh my god, I don't know where to start. Like, so I would take a tray and I would put everything away. And obviously, since 2 years ago, I still finding things from the units.
So I guess that's
Yeah.
like another great question to ask you, which is like based on, I mean, now it's been about 5 years, well, almost 5 years experience. Give
Yeah.
yourself a limit. Is it one storage unit a month? Like if you have to pick them up.
It's hard. It's hard because it's um usually physically what we're able to do is about 3 storages, and you have to remember they're different sizes too. So usually normal storage unit that people get is like 10 feet by 10 feet or 10 feet by 15 feet. So it's, you can pretty much fit like a small apartment in those type of units. Obviously there are smaller units like 10 by 5 for smaller things, and then there's like boxes type of units, and then there's humongous, like 5,000 square feet of a house could fit into one of those units. So depending on the size, we try to stick between like 10 by 10, 10 by 15. And physically, what we're able to do, keeping within that size, is about 3 units per week
Wow.
without being burned out. 3 units per week. And obviously, it's not just jewelry stuff. I mean, there's furniture, there's washing machines, dryers, refrigerators, couches. This was a find from actually from the one of the units. It's a little futon. So there's a whole bunch of things in there, and but then it takes a day or two to move it, to sort it, to post it, to clean it. So it's, if I let my husband do it, and he usually does it, he just puts bids and forgets about them.
Uh-oh.
This week we had 5.
You bought
This week we,
storage units this week. So are they all within a 30-mile radius? Are you guys having to drive far?
now that we kind of put a limit, because we have
Okay.
kids.
Yeah.
So time wise, 2 hours each way.
That's
So within the radius of 2 hours each way, pretty much.
wow. So you guys aren't seeing it, and you will tomorrow because at some point
Yes.
we'll go live from her insane storage work,
Insane.
like a second story that was built,
It's
and
crazy.
shelves and shelves and shelves. So you'll understand how they're
Yes.
able to buy 5 storage units in 1 week. Um,
Yeah.
so most of us aren't going to do that, but
Right.
if you had advice, and maybe you've given this for someone who's like, okay, I'm really curious, how should I start so that I'm not overwhelmed with some
S-
of the storage units?
So, storage, with storage units, try to, if you're just starting, try to find like clean ones.
Ah,
So clean ones. Because I'll send you the video in the last one. The guys, they found mama rat with like 4 rats in there, live rats. So it's clean ones, small and clean, like get your feet wet, and then kind of move on and see if you even like it, because a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of behind the scenes work of actually moving everything out, sorting through it, putting it on the truck, renting the truck, moving it to a facility, then returning the truck. So that also costs that kind of adds up on top of it. But 98% of the time, it's worth it. It's worth it. But as far as the jewelry, and specific to the jewelry, because we work with a lot of auction houses. We have quite a few around where we are, and they have auctions, specific jewelry auctions. They're called discovery auctions. That's where you actually go into their place and you can actually see where you're bidding on. And because every Saturday and Sunday, like literally every Saturday and Sunday, if you go on any live auction site and you type in and search jewelry, you will see that a lot of same auctions are running at the same, and the prices, they go up and up and up and up. But what people don't know, a lot of people do not know, discovery auctions, they're held on Fridays usually in that actual place where you pick it up. So if you search auction houses and you contact them around your area and just ask, do you guys do discovery auctions, when is it, and you will be able to go there and see what they have. Super cheap. Why do I know that? Because some of the stuff and some of the jewelry that I had, I we sold it at the discovery auctions. So it's a really good place to find. And obviously I have a running credit with them because I go in to pick up the money from the sale that they made, and I'm like, oh, I like this piece. Okay, let's just trade. Let's just trade. So
Got it.
I would yeah, I would say start there.
So different than buying storage units,
Hmm.
contact an auction company,
Hmm.
near
Auction house.
an auction house. So you
Yep.
guys, you can Google that. I mean, most of us don't live anywhere near each other, so it's going to be different for most of us. But and you ask them if they have something called discovery auction, and what Jenya was saying, and Jenya, correct me
Mhm.
if I'm wrong, is that they let you actually take a look at the inventory
Yes.
before placing a bid.
Yes. So the difference is when you go to a flea market, they already, a lot of people in the flea market, they're resellers. So they already source their stuff from somewhere. So there's already a markup on that stuff. Difference is on the auction when you bid, and a lot of people, they just don't bother. People who buy on auctions and they go for specific things or like higher end items, they don't even bother with those discovery auctions. And you can find like silver and jewelry and Mexican silver. I mean, you can find crazy amount of stuff and trinkets on discovery auctions. Um, it's whatever it sells for, that's the price.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. Got
So yeah, if you go to a flea market and you buy, say, a piece of jewelry for $20, you can get the same piece of jewelry if it was ran on the Discovery for like
99.
10, 12, or like $5, depending
Yeah.
on the piece of jewelry. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm personally going to start looking for some storage units. I have the space, guys, so you know there's an opportunity for that when you have extra space. So the way to search for the auction companies, Jenya, if I were to go into Google, do I just say like storage units for sale? Like, how would you suggest?
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. There's storage treasures, locker fox, and storage auctions. Those are the three. So it's you just Google it, and you might have a smaller company. Which what it is pretty much a service for all of the storage facilities to post their auctions. So think of it as like a Craigslist. So everybody they get like a dedicated day and everybody goes in there, and then you'll be able to see at which location what auction is going on, and then you will click on the location and a whole bunch of pictures will come up, and then you will just choose the radius from wherever you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you need to, for these websites, do you need to have like a paid account? Is it completely free?
The main account, there's a free account,
Mhm.
and if you have a business like an LLC, there are subscriptions, like there are tiers of subscriptions, and that only gets you a lower percentage of tax that you pay because it's rolled over onto the company.
Makes sense. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Who here, I mean, amazing, 28 live viewers, is intrigued by storage units? I know I am. Oh, is there a buyer's fee?
Is
Ask
there a
Jane.
bias? So
Yeah,
there is a there. Go ahead.
no, no, no.
Okay, so there is a buyer's fee. So you pay a fee towards the actual site where you buy it, and the rest goes to the facility. So that percentage is usually a set percentage that they have also like within the tier, depending on the price of the unit that you buy. But it's not that much. It's not that much.
It's like, it's like if you buy it for 1,000, it might be another 5%.
Yeah, like 5-8%, just depending on which site you get it from.
Got it.
Hmm.
Got it. Wow,
Yeah.
this is so fascinating. I don't see any guys. We have about 5 more minutes
Mhm.
with very busy, but Jenya. Well, actually, before that, if you guys have any other questions, or if any purchased a storage unit before, I have one last question for Jenya, and then I want her
Yeah.
to let us know if she hasn't scheduled it yet, if she's going to go live tomorrow, because I want you guys to see her space and to buy from her. But my last question for you, Jenya, is I guess looking back on all of the storage units you've bought, were they all worth it, or were there some that ended up being duds?
Absolutely, some ended up being dots.
Okay.
Absolutely. Some of them are just, and it's not only like you get a good one, good one, good one, and then bad one, and then good one, good one. It's like good one, and 10 bad ones. And then you get a streak of good ones. So and when we get the bad ones, of course, you get discouraged, especially if it's a huge one. For example, we had one and it had nothing but bills, like tax returns. Tax returns. So the owner was not was unalive, no immediate family. The facility did not want it. It was a 20 by 25-foot unit. It's like huge. It was all in office boxes and it was all Texas. So we had to properly dispose of that. We had to like find a shredding company that destroys the records. I literally stood there for a whole entire day, 8 to 5. I stood there like this, watching them shred every single file in that unit. My husband fed me sushi for a month after that.
Yeah.
It's but and some are, you think they're not so good because you come across things that you do not know anything about.
Yeah.
So you might think it's junk, but in reality it turns out to be like some weird gadget that's like thousands of dollars. We had those too. We had those too. We had we had very scary units, like very scary units. We had units that you find out things about people that you do not want to find out.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
like I don't even know how to correctly like say it.
I totally get where you're going. Yeah. That,
Like suitcases and suitcases worth of stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how do you sell your other items? That's not your. So in on multiple platforms, um the bigger stuff we usually put on Facebook. Some of the things that, say, couches, we have a guy who buys couches, refurbishes the couches. We have a guy who does mattresses, just strictly mattresses. We have a guy who is into electronics, like this dude can put, I don't know, a racket together from paperclip and a matchstick. So he does the wires. We have a guy who that we bring the wires because they do scrap copper, I think, or like they strip the wires like to plug in to things. So they do that. Um, so we have some certain things. We work with a lot of charities.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff goes to schools. A lot of stuff goes to orphanages. All the Bibles we collect. My last delivery was a 10-foot U-Haul truck full of Bibles. We have when we had hurricanes here a couple of years back, we found a landscaping business unit that we bought, and it was just like chainsaws and
Mhm.
yard type of things that we kind of boxed it up and gave it to Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
there's just a lot of different platforms. We have people that contact us and they're looking for something specific. So I actually have a running list of things that people look for. Say like cards, the what you call it, Pokemon, and
Oh, yeah.
the game cards like Magic.
Mhm.
People go crazy for those. I
Mhm.
cannot stand to look at them. I have 4 boxes I cannot get rid of because I'm not allowed to sell it anywhere because it's like copyrighted. So I don't know what to do with them. They give me a headache. They
That's
do. Or
well,
like comic books. People love comic books. I have a huge thing of comic books. I physically my body cannot stand going through comic books for some reason. It's one of those things like when you don't like something, like your body just shuts you down.
Mhm.
So so I have that sitting yet to figure out what to do with those. Magic cards are fire, yes. Pictures are pretty. I don't get them. Everyone's asking me for like weird creatures on them, but when I take them out, but yeah, both magic, Pokemon. Like eBay forbids Pokemon. You cannot sell Pokemon on eBay, like Pokemon cards.
That's why Whatnot is so big in the district because you can sell Pokemon.
Yes. I actually do have a couple of clients from Whatnot because I was on that platform for a little bit, but it's oversaturated. Like it's the ratios are flipped.
Right, right.
So
So
yeah.
this, I mean, first of all, I love it. It sounds like Jenya, you can be like that go-to person if people are looking for things. So those of you that aren't following Jenya, her handle is Huron District, and we're going to learn about her YouTube channel as well. So I can share that with you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
But Phoenix Treasures, which doesn't stand for Phoenix, Arizona, Jenya, sorry
No.
for that.
No. It's the
And,
place where forgotten things get a second chance at life.
okay, and the Phoenix, I get it. I love it.
Yes.
Like Phoenix Rising. Um,
Yes.
but you know, something that we haven't pushed here in Vintage Addicts, and it's really my fault, so I say we, but I haven't, is that we have the capability to do multi-day auctions on the platform. You guys can make like an eBay auction, eBay style auction that's 1 day, 1 hour, 7 days, 29 days. And so, Jenya and others who are tuning in, I challenge you guys, when you have lots of jewelry and you can't get rid of it, run it on auction,
Just- oh,
because our sellers, myself included, I'm about to call you, Jenya, and be like, I'm looking for this, 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 this for my market. Definitely a place here, Jenya. I mean, it just depends on how much money you want to get for it. But if you can't handle it all, auction it. Let's become the next place for lots of jewelry that people can't sell.
absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Love it.
Let's do that.
Star-
Let's do that.
of Starbright Collect, we don't offer that at the moment. We do allow like purses and scarves and belts, basically things that are fairly size free. We also allow jewelry boxes and vintage mirrors and vintage compacts. There's been conversation around housewares. I've been speaking to Jamie about it. It might It might happen this year, but not at this very moment. So you'll be one of the first to know, however, if we do open doors for that. Let me know when you're ready. I have lots of fenton. All right,
That's fun.
Jenya.
I'm looking for a fairy lamp. I'm still yet to find a pretty fairy lamp.
ISO guys, fairy lamp from Jenya. Message her if you have one. David says I have 20 of them.
What? I still have yet to find one. Not I haven't even found like pieces of it, like not the top, not the bottom, not even separate. I already gave up on finding a whole entire one.
Wow. Maybe your next storage unit will have 20 of them like David. But in the meantime, David can find you, can help you. Can't find her handle in search. Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. Yeah. Jenya, do you want to comment on the live? It'll be a lot easier for them.
Yeah, here.
Jenya's gonna comment. And yeah, you guys might want to go actually search her name, because I don't know if you can click. Oh, you can. If you're on desktop, can you do it on iPad? Yeah, so you can.
I think you can, yes. Mm-hmm.
Click the name and it opens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
follow
it
her,
opens.
message her. Jenya, I want to open the door for you to share any last thoughts. And then if you do have a plan for like a tentative time that we can shop from you live tomorrow.
So if you guys want to try it out, start small. Start small. This is as far as like the storage unit go. Definitely check out the discovery auctions local to you. Some of them they have it online, but it's more fun when you actually go and you actually see and you kind of figure out how it works. And yeah, if anybody's looking for anything, let's help each other out.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. There's a train tomorrow. It starts at 6 though, so you have like all day before
Oh
morning.
yeah, so it's going to be in the morning. I want to say around like 10-ish.
Awesome.
10-ish. I'll message you.
Yeah, because we will definitely promote it for you.
Yeah, I'll message you about an hour before I go live or so. This way, yeah. And I'll show you guys around. It's gonna be like a chat, just a chat. And I'll show you guys our space, and if you guys have any questions to get more earlier in the day shows, not just no, day shows. Ah, my thing, day shows, because in the evening kids are home, and this is a very, I don't know what my husband bribed them with, because nobody walked through the door yet.
I know, right? Where are they? I want to see your children.
They're there, I promise you. I'm kind of scared to walk out and see what I'm gonna find over there.
Oh my God, that's great.
Uh,
Well, first of all, thank you, Jenya,
mhm.
so much. Everyone, please thank Jenya. Follow her. Look for her live tomorrow, where she will show you her facility, and maybe sell a few things if you guys see something
Sure.
that you like. And Jenya, if they see something on the shelves that they like that's not jewelry, let's just have you be the test. We brought it up tonight.
Okay.
So if you
Sure.
got some glass, I mean, the only things that we don't really want you to sell is like completely unrelated, like Pokemon cards and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, no, I'm not going. No, if you guys are interested in those, you guys can message me and we'll figure
Yeah,
something out. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm not gonna do that mistake again. Nope. Mm-mm.
But yeah,
Mm-mm.
let's see if you guys are interested in things from Jenya's shelves, because yeah, there's been rumblings that we might expand in our live sales to what you
Yeah,
guys
and we can keep. We
sell.
have purses. We have purses. We have belts. We have clothes. 34 bins worth of clothes.
We should talk about the clothes, actually. We should have a serious conversation, especially if you think it's real vintage, or do you have mostly contemporary?
It's a mix.
It's a mix. Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
mix.
Real vintage is harder to find. Hard. I am
Yeah.
figured it out right now.
units are good for that. Units are very good for that because that's where you get especially it's the ones with hard, like with wooden furniture.
Yep.
But they have amazing closets.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
Either that or I'm gonna have to go to the Goodwill bins, which I don't really want to do. Hey, it's gotten harder. Sometimes I get lucky at auctions. Yeah.
Now, I feel like it's gotten harder all the way around. Like the sourcing, the selling, just the things. I don't know if people are just holding on to them more, but they're not out there in the wild as much.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that too.
Yeah. Does she have Betty Boop t-shirt? Oh, great question, Regina.
Petty Boop. I will have to look.
Ah.
I will have to look. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be a very organized show tomorrow, obviously, because I'm.
It's gonna be whatever up shelves, guys, and then you just
Yeah.
call out to her and she'll add it live for you. And that's the beautiful thing about live selling that
Yeah.
don't we recommend being prepared. I've done it both ways and made money. I go live. I'm like, all right, this is what I got. I'm gonna upload it live. So you guys can start with wherever you are. And check out Jenya's live, especially if you've never shopped from us before tomorrow. So you can see something that's different where she's just going to walk through her facility. You
Mhm.
guys do that well. You don't have to have the most beautiful setup and make it look like you have your whole life organized. My favorite phrase is I've let go of the need to be perfect today. So, Jenya, we
Oh,
accept your
well,
loss.
I'll show you. I'll show you. It's definitely look. Not even not my spare bedroom currently.
You could do a live sale right now from that.
Like that. Like that.
Yeah,
Just like that. Keeping it real.
keeping it real. This is
Keeping it real.
This has been awesome, Jenya. We're almost at 9 p.m. Thank you guys again so much. Thank you, Jenya. Your life.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. Bye.